Welcome to The Lock Shop with Nielsen and Hustler.
All right. Great morning, Lock Shoppers. Happy Wednesday to you. This is not an April Fool. Lieutenant Eric in for Matty in for Dustin Nielsen this morning on The Lock Shop. We'll be joined by Andrew Hustler Patterson shortly from Winnipeg Sports Talk. But yes, you've got an extra hour of me today. Hernan, we wish him well. A little bit of a scheduling mix-up, I guess, flexing in for today as Hernan will be off today. He's dealing with an illness, so we wish him well. But again, I'll be on the Lock Shop today 11 to noon. We got YouTube Trev, who's on the other side of the camera right now, producing this show. He'll be joining Tom Gazzola for your oil stream today, noon to 1. And Matthew Iwanek back from the Hangout and on EST Afternoons alongside Joaquin Gage and Zach 1 to 3 here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta and, of course, the Lock Shop as well. PlayAlberta.ca or the Play Alberta app. Make it easy for you. All fun staying in the province. Once again, Hustler will be joining us as well. We'll be going over everything that happened last night, setting the stage for tonight. I'm sure he'll have a couple of juicy bets you can get on. Once again, use your game sense if you are sprinkling or getting involved and into the action later on tonight. And today, this morning, as we do have some matinee baseball for you. Jays Rockies, the rubber match of that series from Toronto. Jays getting back in the win column last night, but Jays Rockies 11:07 first pitch. Kevin Gausman manning the bump for Toronto as they'll look to take 2 of 3 from the visiting Rockies. Also some curling. I know Huss likes to dabble in that from time to time. World Men's Championship is on. Dunstone and Canada taking on Switzerland. It's a key match. Swiss find themselves top of the table. 2 big wins from Canada yesterday. Big one against Sweden last night. See them at 6-2, taking on 7-1 Switzerland. In the opening draw of the day, Canada will also play later on this evening. So probably, maybe a little bit of talk on that. I know the Matty Dunstone ring from Manitoba. Maybe Hustler want to go there as well. World Men's Championships going down in Utah. But other than that, a lot of puck talk. Of course, the Jets working their way. I mean, last time I think I spoke with Huss, we were sticking a fork in them. That fork has been removed, and they ain't done yet as they are flirting with wild card positioning in the ever so competitive West. 76 points for the Jets. They are a point out of a wild card spot behind the Nashville Predators. So I'm sure Huss will want to talk some Jets hockey. Of course, the Oilers continuing to roll. Boring as it is, but a big win last night. A clean, tidy victory. We don't need excitement. We just need wins, and that's what the Oilers did last night. 3-0 against the Seattle Kraken. Connor Ingram, 27 saves on his birthday. Looks like goaltending and team defense really has been solved here as of late, which is a good thing to see. You know Draisaitl's going to be back. You know the offense is always going to be there and lurking with this club, but it was the other things they needed to clean up, and it looks like at this stage of the regular season down the stretch, they are indeed in the process of doing so. So heady times if you're an Oilers fan, especially during this part of the season, and especially in the Pacific and a West here where, you know, it has been anyone's game for the season, but Oilers getting hot at the right time right now. They made it 4 wins in a row. I think it was the Flyers we were educated on the morning show today, the only other team that didn't get that streak yet, but they'll look for win 5 in a row tomorrow against the Blackhawks. And, of course, a big one Saturday night. John Tortorella and the Golden Knights looming. They'll be in town Saturday at 8. I'm inclined to look past tomorrow's game. I know YouTube Trev is in agreement with me. We will be on the Nielsen Show tomorrow morning, not talking at all about the Oilers and Blackhawks, focusing our sights firmly on Saturday night against the Vegas Golden Knights. Why wouldn't we?
Yes, correct.
The players have to. We don't have to.
Yeah, Chicago.
Right?
Chicago. Murray. How's it going, Murray?
Murray, holler if you hear me, Murray. I don't apologize to Murray. He's made it well known. He's a Blackhawks fan. He was there for the heady days, and you got to be, as a fan of a team, you got to be there for the good. You got to be there for the ugly as well, and that's what Murray is. But yeah, the Chicago Blackhawks rolling to town. The return of Andrew Mangiapane is even on. Like he's on their team, right?
Oh yeah,
he's
on.
Yeah,
he's on. We got a first look at Anton Frundell.
Yes.
For the Chicago Blackhawks.
Bedard.
5 games so far with the organization, has 5 points.
Yeah. Nick Lardis and crew, you know.
Yeah. So it should be a good one. But Matty did confirm he will be in the post-game presser with Tortorella. So he'll be interviewing him, whether it's a win or lose, he will be there. And
it needs to be positioned just like the old video. Everything needs to be, they need to get Torts in the proper position. We need the perfect camera shot, and we need Matty lurking behind as he was in that initial episode. Yeah, good stuff. Well, I'm glad that's going to happen. That'll be something to look forward to. But yeah, certainly a big couple of games ahead for the Oilers. We won't gloss over. I still profess, and I do, am a proud owner of a red Blackhawks jersey. I know it's their home ones. They will be donning probably the road whites, but best overall jerseys in sports, man.
Yes.
Might be a hot take.
Oh, it is so.
I effing love them.
You donned it. You wore it curling this year. I'm like, correct? Yeah. And I was so happy to see you wearing that. I was like, yes, he finally got it. But that is the sweater. Man, it's
the colors pop.
Yeah.
The red's good. You've got that whole thing going on with the feathers and everything, multicolored, so that kind of adds to it.
Yeah.
The red, the black, the white, the homes, the aways. Their black jersey, I know that's a bit of a throwback too, but give me the reds any day. I was going to buy one. Savage the Plumber gifted me his Jonathan Taves one.
So sick.
Don't really care about the Taves part, but good silks. Always love when the Blackhawks roll into town, and for the Oilers tomorrow. I'm much like we did yesterday with the Kraken. We said it was just an exercise. We called it.
You did,
It's kind of a boring team. Blackhawks not like that. I mean, they've had success in the past. They're on the way up. Maybe a stiffer test tomorrow?
Yeah, I
in a
think
sense
so.
that maybe you tend to look past them in a way.
For sure. I think there will be a lot more chances. I think the offense of the Blackhawks, they can generate a decent amount more, a little bit more of that run and gun game.
Yeah.
Kind of similar to the Ducks. Tyler Bertuzzi, first 30-goal campaign of his career. So, and Connor Bedard, I mean, the injury, that sucked, but he's having a career year as well. So
worth the price of admission.
They've got some weapons, so they just can't quite figure it out yet. But I'm expecting more goals tomorrow, and not as much of a snooze fest, if you will. We take it. No. Yeah.
I don't. When I say that, I'm not trying to put a negative connotation on it at all. I mean, that's what you want from this Oilers team. There's been exciting games that they've found themselves on the L end of it. You take boring hockey, and again, if this was a playoff game in a playoff series, 3-0, boy, oh boy, that's a huge, big win. But the way they're showing up defensively right now and kind of lulling a team, and a team in Seattle that did push back in the second period and forward. And you saw the Oilers, again, not taking those chances, not trying to be too cute or be too explorative in their play. Just keeping it simple, playing simple hockey, and you get simple results. But you take those any day of the week. 780-218-9999 is the inbox. You can text in whatever you want. Looks like Hustler is up. Trev's giving me the universal signal. Love what Reggie Miller said. Chris Perper says LeBron had the better career, but MJ is the better player. So we're still talking about the LeBron MJ conversations just kind of cascade over all the shows and the programming here on EST. I know it was talked about in the hangout there. I missed that, but anyways, without further ado, we bring in Andrew Hustler Patterson, Winnipeg Sports Talk. I always love being joined. We don't talk a lot. I mean, I do have your number. We have texted in the past about certain things, but we don't get any full-blown conversations. So this is our chance to kind of converse and kind of catch up. Thanks again. It's great seeing you. I must say, though, I think the last time we did the show together, we were ready to call it a night. Call it a season on the Winnipeg Jets. And look at us now. Look at you now.
Dude, it is absolutely bizarre. Great to see you, by the way. And just before we get into talking stuff, the stash, your duster has never looked better. And is there a bit of a soul patch there too?
Yeah, I got a bit. I left a couple. I'm debating whether or not just to get rid of that too, but it's a lot more gray. I am a married man now, Huss, so that's usually what happens. It used to be jet black, and now we're into the salt and pepper era.
Well, the stash combo, you were looking like $1 million US tax-free, my friend. Yeah, listen, the Jets, I mean, this snail's race for this second wild card spot is sort of bizarre. I mean, at one point they were 11 points out. And after last night, we wake up and they are 1 point out. Now, I should pull up Money Puck here because there's so many teams involved. Let's see what the updated playoff odds are for the Jets after last night. We're up to 15.6.
Okay.
Actually leapfrogged the Seattle Kraken after their loss last night.
As you should.
But it's just wild. The Kings have 34%, the Sharks 25%, Nashville 21%, and then there's the Jets at 15.6. So they are back in this. Now, it'll be up to them to stay in it. I mean, you got Nashville and the Kings playing each other tomorrow night. St. Louis is in LA tonight. So there's a lot of games that teams are going to be getting 2 points. So for them, they got a real rough road. I mean, we are going into Dallas tomorrow night and then a very hungry Blue Jackets team on Saturday before coming back for a massive game on Monday against the Seattle Kraken. So I mean, I did not think we'd get to this position. You look at the standings and the team could still pick 5th or 6th in the draft, or they could be playing in the first round of the playoffs. I mean, it's just absolutely bananas, but we'll take it. I mean, it's certainly for fun
you got to. Stars, though, these Stars-Jets games have been, I mean, you're in the thick of it there. It's been a great rivalry. They've lost 6 of 7. A couple of overtime losses in there as well. Like, you're getting them. Maybe there's never a good time to get a team like the Dallas Stars, but this is a time that might be a little bit of a good bounce in terms of the Jets 6-2-2 in their last 10, and the Stars, just kind of playing out the string on the regular season. So, in Dallas, in Columbus, those are 2 stiff tests, and you're back home against the Kraken on Monday. It's going to be fascinating. As you say, though, there's the draft aspect of it all, but you want to be in the fight. I mean, this is essentially playoff hockey right now.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think a lot of people, if you'd said, hey, you know what? I mean, I was at peace with the fact that this was a lost season.
Yeah.
And you know what? For a team that has traded some picks, like, it would have been great to be picking in the top 5, or dare we say, get lucky and into the top 3. I mean, that's what happened with the Islanders last year. They went from 11-1. But I mean, for all the people that say, oh, they just got a tank, like, well, how do you propose to do that? I mean, like, the players aren't going to go out there and lose on purpose. These guys have a lot of pride in it. I think they were frankly sort of embarrassed about the way the season went early on, and they're playing with a pretty awesome determination right now to stay in the fight. So, I mean, the win on Saturday night in Denver against the Avalanche was, I think, the one that really sort of got people's attention. And once they won that game to get within 3 points, and then everything else broke their way on the scoreboard, you sort of have a little bit more time for this conversation. So we'll see what happens. You mentioned Dallas. Like, Dallas coming out of the Olympic break, they were on, like a 10-game winning streak.
Yep.
They lost a shootout to the Avalanche. They won another 4 straight. But since then, they have lost 6 of their last 7 games, and 8, or I guess 7 of their last 9.
Yeah.
So they haven't been playing very well. They're still waiting for Rupi Hintz and Mikko Rantanen. So you are right. I think the Jets are playing as well as they have. Got some young players that have come into the lineup that have added some juice to it. The top guys are, I mean, Scheifele's having a career year. Josh Morrissey was brilliant last night. Hellebuck hasn't been at the level he was last year winning the Hart Trophy, but they're back in it. So, it's crazy scoreboard watching right now for those of us.
Well, even the trade deadline and what you guys kind of shipped off there, your thoughts on the acquisitions as well in Rosen and Bryson there.
Yeah, I mean, Rosen's been good. I mean, he's fast. He's got a good shot. I think he's still sort of finding where he fits in, and he's played in a couple different lines, but he had a nice goal last night, which was a big part of the win. Bryson, Bryson's played the last few games. I mean, I think we kind of, I'll admit, I kind of thought that he was just a throw-in, just to make the rosters work and the money work. But he's a small guy, but he moves the puck pretty well. I mean, I think he's a serviceable 7-8 guy. Whether he's in the plans for next year, he's an unrestricted free agent. I guess we will see. But yeah, big time scoreboard watching tonight. There's only 3 games.
Yeah.
But this Blues Kings game is massive. We'll all be hoping that the Ducks can beat the Sharks. And the Canucks Avalanche game means absolutely nothing because one team is 1 team is 32, and it doesn't seem like that is changing at all. Hey, listen, before we kind of dive into these games and we can talk some Jays, and I got some golf picks for the Valero Texas Open. Can we talk about yesterday's results in the beautiful game?
On the pitch? You want to go on the pitch? That's one of the reasons Matt Iwanek isn't here, I do think. Like, I know he said Hernan's sick and we got to shuffle some things around. It's been a tough week for Matt, and it's only Wednesday. Duke bowing out of the March Madness, and then Italy failing to qualify for the World Cup yesterday. Scenes, Huss. Scenes.
Well, it was incredible. And I let me ask the chat that was with us yesterday. Did anybody ride with me on Bosnia-Herzegovina against Italy yesterday to qualify at plus 395? What a glorious... Listen, I only put $20 on it. It returned 99, which I will certainly take.
Sure.
But the significance of it, I'll win bigger bets this year. That one might be my favorite when we get to the end of it. Italy is out. Gone.
That bet goes hard on the streets. Like, if you walk up to somebody and you say, I took Bosnia-Herzegovina in a World Cup qualifier beating Italy.
To knock them
out. Yeah, I mean, that hits.
Well, it does. And I mean, listen, it hits. And I don't want this to be taken. I've got I live in an Italian neighborhood. Got to deal with them. Well, usually just around the Euros because they haven't been in a lot of World Cups lately. But I mean, going back to 2006, we've got the pictures of the World Cup trophies on the big wall mural down the street. Yeah. It drives me nuts that these guys are all with us with our red and white on when Canada's playing the Olympics in hockey. And then all of a sudden, as if we don't have our own team, they're wearing the blue of the Azzurri. And to be honest, I was really worried. Like, that was a heart bet. I wanted Italy out because I did not want, as Canadians, our first opportunity to host a World Cup game and it be a split crowd, or dare I say, a pro-Italian crowd. It would have been embarrassing on a national level, in my opinion. Jesse Marsh, I think, has done such a great job at building this team and trying to build support behind our national team. And that would have really complicated things. So we can do the red out right now. I hope all of you Italian friends that would have been wearing the blue of the Azzurri, get down, get a red and white Canada jersey, and let's go. The crazy thing about it is, too, I mean, obviously there's an advantage, too, because Italy's number 12 in the world and Bosnia is 65 in the world.
Yeah.
But the path for Canada to come out and, dare I say, potentially win their group, Eric, looks a heck of a lot different with the Italians on the sidelines for the third straight World Cup.
I will counter all of this, and you make good points in the fact that it is in Toronto. It's the first game of the tournament. You want to show up. You want to. And Jesse Marsh, I think what's even sweeter, him leading our program, is he is American, and the Americans missed out on him, and now they're suffering with Mauricio Pochettino ball, which, I mean, they got spanked by Belgium. They lost to Portugal there, but that's another tale for another day. I would have liked Italy for the simple fact that I think... Like, they're obviously not Italy teams of past, and we've heard about strikers and such. They can be boring, they can be defensive, and they can play outright, not good football on the eye. And I think for Canada, there is a point where you would have that mix of fans there, and maybe, as you said, dare I say, I would believe that it would probably be a lot more blue than red. Given the fact that even Canada and Tunisia, there are a lot of people showing up to Canada games that will be cheering on the other country, just because of the populace, really, in the numbers. But I was kind of hoping it would be Italy, in a fact that it would be such a big game that I think the Canadians, yes, playing at home, Jesse Marsh would have them rallied as they were a bit of an underdog in a sense. The problem I have now with Bosnia-Herzegovina, and you mentioned their world ranking, they're kind of coming in now, and that's a dangerous dog that you want to be playing with. They're happy to be there. Sarajevo, they're partying and all that. Once they get there, they're going to want to show up and play good. But it is this kind of And I know Jesse Marsh won't have the players thinking this, but we as a nation might be kind of putting our feet up now and saying, we avoided Italy. Now we've got Bosnia-Herzegovina. Can't necessarily look past it. I know the players won't, but there is a fear in me to counter the point. Yes, I would rather play them based on ranking, based on overall quality. However, there is that dog in them that kind of scares me. And a fact, too, that Canada, on these stages, I don't mind them playing countries that are a little more ahead of them or a little more, I think they kind of get up for that more as opposed to maybe looking past or settling down. Again, not saying that's how Marsh will coach them, but I do think that kind of seeps into the psychology sometimes is when you are playing a nation or a club that don't come in expected to do anything, that's the time they do something.
Listen, if our guys can't get up for the World Cup opener on home soil, that's a much bigger problem.
And they will.
But here's the thing. Like, I just pulled this up. So we now have match odds for that game. I think I saw Canada-Italy line projected, and Canada, it was basically about opposite of this. For the three-way, Canada plus 117, a draw plus 240, Bosnia plus 260. Canada was around plus 255 or plus 260 if they were playing Italy. So, the bottom line is they've got a better opponent. But most importantly, I'm going to give the Bosnians all the credit in the world. They just beat Italy. To be honest, right now, they're on par with the Italians. However, what is most important to me is the crowd, the support for our home team, the atmosphere, and getting off to a great start in the tournament. And I think that is far more possible right now with the way things are looking. So I wonder if we've got numbers for the groups, because the group, earlier, I know a bunch of books had put out group odds, and there was basically the assumption that Italy was going to win. How things have changed. Let me see. So what do you think about this? This is actually sort of interesting. Do you have odds there at PA for the group?
I'm looking at some here. So Canada to qualify from Group B, minus 400 for yes, plus 270 for no. Canada, where you might think they'll get eliminated, round of 32, plus 125. Group stage in round of 16, plus 275.
What about just winner Group B, like odds to win Group B for the four teams?
Qualify from Group B. I'm only seeing the Canada. I can pull up. It's kind of situated different, so I can look at Qatar to qualify, plus 150 to qualify out of Group B. Outside of that, so if you got something more,
Group B odds. Switzerland to win Group B, to finish first, minus 105. Canada, Bosnia-Herzegovina, both plus 260. So they certainly are giving the Bosnians some respect that, they're coming in kind of on that same level of Canada. And then the Qataris, 35-1. I think there's a good chance that all three of those teams will go through, assuming that they beat Qatar.
Yeah.
And then, you get a draw or another win. But I'll tell you what, if Canada can get off to a great start with a big win in front of an energetic crowd in Toronto, I don't mind Canada potentially win. And I think, Eric, if I'm not mistaken, if they win their group, they get another home game. I believe they stay in Vancouver for the round of 32, and then I believe maybe go to Kansas City for the round of 16, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, and you've made a trip down to Kansas City a couple of times. Not necessarily maybe match attending, but you could go down there for the partying. We got a few comments in the nasty chat. Duck Dad says Canada needs to figure out how to score goals before making plans on winning the group. I think they've got the horses there. They do need to figure that out, but I do think they have the quality up front to do so. One would argue, Sobe Kirk says, we wanted the lowly Italians in our group. Hustler, Bosnia will be feisty. That is the thing that I kind of, again, that kind of worries me. But you are right. I could easily see a situation and scenario where Switzerland, Canada, and Bosnia find their way out of the group. and it's kind of a whole beatdown on Qatar. In terms of, though, and I'm trying to find the bracket here.
World.
But certainly winning it and then getting another game, I mean, that's paramount.
So we're Group B, right?
Group B winners. Yeah, Group B winners, Thursday, July 2, BC plays Vancouver.
Amazing.
So that would be it.
July 2, the day after Canada Day?
Yeah.
You kidding me? Oh, be so awesome.
And it's not far off. Like the Swiss probably are maybe that's what people would kind of maybe lean to for finishing. But as you say, if you can come out and put a few past them in that opening game, and then you set, because they do draw the Swiss the final group stage game, correct? I do believe. I think it's Bosnia, then Qatar, then Switzerland. So then it'll be all to be played for in that final one. And I mean, that would be huge. Getting out of there, winning the group would just be huge on its own. I mean, that would be, again, I don't think too many people are expecting them to go on and win the whole tournament, obviously, but winning the group and advancing from it in that manner, I think would be huge. And then we'll see what happens. You go play that game in Vancouver in the knockouts. Who's to say? But yeah, Thursday, July 2. Yeah, coming off of Canada Day, you could just parlay that. And a Thursday, you take Canada Day, you got off. You got the game Thursday, Friday. I mean, that's a whole weekend there.
Just looking here. So match 85 winner. Oh, wow. Actually, if Canada were to win the group and then win their game in BC, they'd play in BC again. So you could actually have their first 5 games all on home court. I'm just looking to see what the path from there is. So that's match 96. Yes. And then if they win that, then they go to Arrowhead for match 100 of the event, Saturday, July 11th. I'm gonna do everything I can to get to a game. That's another funny thing. The prices of the Canada-Italy quote-unquote game plummeted pretty good.
Yeah.
Because let's just say there were, I think, a lot of second mortgages by some of the Italian community in Woodbridge and Vaughan taken out to make sure that they had seats, and now they're looking to get rid of them. So
as you say, though, I mean, that's like, I have German heritage. I'm always pulling for Germany, whether it's in the Euros or I have some Ukrainian, Romanian. They obviously didn't qualify. Like we're all Canadians, but we all do come not too much separated from some other
Canada
place.
Was playing Germany in the first game, you would have a Canadian jersey on, right?
I'd have to. Now again, I would probably also know that Germany would theoretically make it farther in the tournament. So that's something I could. I mean, they'll eventually disappoint me later on in the knockout rounds. I'm fully confident in that happening. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to have because you never had Canada in these tournaments as not going to say a fallback, but if you did support an Italy or an England or one of the better countries, I guess, Germany, what have you. Yeah, now you've got your country to get behind. And I did get it. Red, white. I bought the black jersey. It arrived last week. The thing looked sharp. Didn't get a name or number. Didn't want to do that just yet. Might do that later if somebody proves it to me. But a great kit, man. It looks sharp. They were sporting them last night in the draw. And we're going to get a taste. They play Uzbekistan in that tune-up game, June 1. I'll be going with Matty and a handful of others down there. We all showed up for the Ice Teka. Back when we had some great results against.
What a moment!
It was in that place we were. I mean, I don't want to toot the horn too much here, but we had that place going. It was humming. It was a difficult walking in when we were playing Mexico. I mean, our chests weren't as puffed out as some Mexican fans were hearing. You didn't want to say the wrong thing to too many of them on fear for personal safety. But it was something that was a pretty prideful couple of days and a couple of matches here. But yeah, I mean, it's a chance for us to we can all rally behind this now. It's not so much you're watching these tournaments in the past and you go to your own cultural club or whatever it is and watch your own nation that your grandpa's from or whatever the case is and then go home again. And this is something as a nation we can all come together for.
Well, and listen, I mean, I still think it was a big whiff on, and why, I don't know whether it's the government or whatever, that there's no games in Edmonton. It's a crime because anyone that follows Canadian soccer knows that the best crowds for Canada are in Edmonton.
Yeah.
Like you do it in Toronto, half the team, like last night, we were getting booed in our own building by the freaking Tunisians.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, how are there that many Tunisians in Toronto? Who,
I'm sorry, the way BMO looks too. Like I can't get behind the. We always hear about Grey Cup games of the past and the temporary seating and how it's all janky looking and everything. This does not. BMO to me doesn't scream opening match of World Cup vibes. I'm sorry, and that's just how it is. That's just how the stadium is. I get it. It's all set up for MLS and everything, but you've got one sitting right here in Commonwealth, which is just designed for an event such as that.
It's perfect, and like there's a history of supporting Canada, like actually having fans cheering for the home team.
Yes,
which you often don't get because, and I mean, I get it. We suck forever. And people that loved soccer, that had any connection, kind of grabbed onto wherever the heck they were from 2 or 3 generations ago. And that's their thing. But it was because we didn't even have a sniff. Well, guess what? We've arrived.
Yeah.
We qualified on our own merit last time and made it to the World Cup. We're now hosts. This is the time that I hope will be a sea change, that we're making actually fans of the Canadian soccer team.
Yeah.
As Canadians, like you're like, I know you're thinking Germany and you'll be pulling for Germany. You would like, if Canada was playing Germany in the Olympics in hockey, you're not putting a Draisaitl jersey on and cheering for Germany in that case.
Not so much.
Like, let's have soccer be like all of the other sports and have Canada be our team first, please, everybody. And the ejections of Italy is going to help set the tone for that in a big, big way right off of the bat.
And to have the program where it is right now hitting, and to be hosting a tournament such as this, to have those two intersect at this time, that might be a once in a lifetime type of opportunity to have such a great chance and a great shot, and to have your program, kind of reaching its peak, and to be hosting it, once in a lifetime stuff.
Do you have any plans to go to any games?
Oh no, I don't get paid nearly enough. I know Matty's going. He's got I think he's got the Vancouver one, and he's been talking about Airbnbs and such. No, I love going to the German club here. I'll go to watch Germany games. That's fun. I do like. I mean, last year for the last World Cup, even the qualifiers, we had a band of merry men, and we would go out and go to a few local watering holes. That's kind of my vibe. I want to do that. And I think, too, going to the Uzbekistan game, that's good enough for me. I can't... I got a mortgage to pay. I got 2 cats to feed. I can't... That's way off my my spending limit.
Yeah, the tickets are pretty crazy. We'll see how the market... I was kind of thinking of trying to get to the Qatar game.
Yep.
Because I figured that the pricing of the tickets will be the lowest. Although in Vancouver, I think we're going to have a really pro-Canadian crowd, especially in a game like that.
Yeah. But even if you're there, even if you can't, like, just being there would be something.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's, and as I say, my only experience is obviously being in Qatar, and it was just bizarre. I mean, that's like a whole nother world.
You were,
you know what I mean? So, I mean, you're going to these games, and at the games, it sort of feels like the World Cup. But outside of that, there was some things, but you're still in. I mean, the culture shock was insane, basically.
I bet, yeah.
And I mean, there wasn't like, Eric, you and I like to kill a few hours sitting at a bar top with a few pints. Let's just say that in Doha, not a lot of those spots to pop into. So
more Diet Pepsis, hey, at the Wood than the.
Yeah, exactly. But man, I cannot wait. There's going to be, we should actually, maybe I'm going to put together a power poll of the, maybe the top matches that we're looking forward to going into, you know, like I'll say it to me, Canada, Bosnia, like our hosting game is going to be right up there.
Yeah.
Certainly the funniest, the funniest match. And I thought this was a joke when I first heard it. Have you heard about the Pride match in the World Cup? They had predetermined, like before the draw happened, they had designated a game, I believe it's in Seattle, as the LGBTQ plus Pride match. Do you know who's playing in the Pride match? Egypt and Iran. Like if there's anything more that screams
That's tough.
supporting Pride match than an Egypt Iran World Cup match, I don't know. That, like, the jokes write themselves.
That's a tough one. That is a tough one. You just kind of got to let that hang in the air for a second. I don't know how because a lot of these, again, it is a World Cup. A lot of these matches can be politically charged at times, and given if you're going to make, which I'm all fine with. I mean, I support it. It's all good, but you have to do a little bit of homework, or at least wait until the dust settles, and then assign which match can be this or can be that. I mean, there's certainly other countries out there where you could have a more.
I would have thought that as well, but yeah,
man,
so
oh man,
can look forward to that one in the opening round.
Yeah.
And of course there is talk. I mean, Iran's trying to get maybe their games moved to Mexico.
Yeah,
because they are in a war right now with the host city, the host country down there. So, anyways, good times, man. World Cup. I was hoping we'd be able to talk a little soccer right now. And the winner, who's the favorite right now? Spain, England, France, Brazil, Argentina. Your teams. The Germans. Wow, I'm a little surprised. Germany behind those 5 teams. They're always a pretty squad. Them and Portugal. And then you got the Dutch, 20, Norway, 25, Belgians. The Belgians sure have dropped off. I remember going to that Canada-Belgium game.
Yeah.
They were actually ranked number 2 in the world.
They had a bit of a generation there, and that's kind of on the back nine, if not already kind of over with a lot of people. So they still have good players and some young players busting through, but gone are the days of kind of what they had in that moment. And that's why these, like, the Euros are played every second year, and World Cup every 4, and then Euros every 4, but 2 years in between. But yeah, you get a generation, and even looking at Canada right now, like it comes and goes pretty quick. Like you can argue for these, and I know Canada plays, CONCACAF and all that, and they have those. But I mean, the World Cup is a lot more important. But yeah, I mean, you got to make do with what you have, especially when you have a generation of stars, I guess we can say, kind of busting through and arriving on the scene. You kind of got to make quick work, as opposed to some of these other nations where they just kind of turn over, and they keep plugging away. So yeah, Spain, England. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of these. Germany, I'm not too surprised that they're a little farther down. I'm expecting them to go, but at some point they're going to get a tough draw, and they're probably going to bow out somewhere in the knockout. But yeah, Spain, I don't mind. Portugal, I even don't mind. They're always tricky in these tournaments, I find. There's always the nation of Brazil, Carlo Ancelotti. I mean, they got a lot of youth on their side as well. They've kind of moved on from the Neymar generation. So yeah, a lot of quality, but there's always going to be that nation from Africa, or either from Japan. A lot of people are calling Japan a bit of a dark horse this year. I think they got a pretty good result against England yesterday. So yeah, there's always that interest with the minnows, I guess you can say, or the underdogs, but the big dogs usually come and usually end up feasting on the bowl when it's all said and done.
Hey, listen, I texted Matty. He was all fired up to do our golf picks today.
Yeah.
And again, the card is going to be pretty slight this week, just because next week is the Masters.
Yes.
I don't want to be blowing my brains out right now. We need to do that for Augusta. And I've already made a couple wagers for Augusta next week.
Good man.
But before this tournament, couple things that I do love, and actually we'll put something together. I know Matt loves Jordan Spieth for the top 10. He's got 3 top 12s or better in the last 4. I am certainly down with that. I'm thinking about somebody else higher up for a top 20 parlay. I mean, Aberg, Oberg, Russell Henley.
Tommy
is a guy
Fleetwood.
that we could throw in. Bobby Back, Siwoo Kim, Hideki. It's just such a weird tournament because this is more prep for most of these guys that are, getting ready to go in. Michael Thorbjornsson has been playing well. He seems to have a hard time closing, but I don't mind him. And then Ryu Hisatune is another guy that's been great. But the other guy that I think we should put on is our guy Sudarshan Yelamaraju, the Canadian.
Yep.
He's coming off a great one. So I think we're going to go Spieth. Spieth looks like it's around minus 125. We'll go Sudarshan. And then who do we think? Geez, do we want to do a chalkier play, like right up at the top of the board? Do we like Tommy Fleetwood?
I'll go with the Fleetwood if you want to get a little chalk there.
Yeah,
but
why don't we do that? So Eric, if you can, send that in to your people. It's just 3 top 20s for the tournament. We're gonna go with guys at the top of the board: Tommy Fleetwood, top 20; Jordan Spieth, top 20, and then our Canadian guy Sudarshan Yelamaraju, he's plus 200. And I'm just trying to see, what is Sudarshan's number to win the tournament? Like, let's remember Corey Connors.
We got him up here at plus 40, plus 4,800 here on Play Alberta.
That's awesome. That's a great number. I wouldn't even mind, and I will put a little sprinkle on him to win, because this is last call to get into Augusta. And he's already been this great story. He had that amazing run at the Players, and he kind of followed it up. It's often a guy like that does not have a win that wins this tournament. That's how Corey got to the Masters for the first time. So I'm all in on Sudarshan for this one. And if you do want another sort of, maybe a little bit more of a pick just to win of a guy in that mode, Ryo Hisatune, in and around 35 to 1, 40 to 1 is another guy. But we're going to take it easy, but I do like that. And I think we got a big weekend from our guy Sudarshan coming up. So
Yelamaraju, Spieth, Fleetwood, those are 3 top 20s.
Yeah, 3 top 20s, and I'm sure they'll put that together and can get that up in the exclusives.
Juicy.
Have you taken a look at these hockey games at all tonight? Because I got one already locked in.
Well, are you going? You were talking off the hop, and from a Jets point of view, is that
exactly what I'm doing?
You're not.
I'm taking St. Louis over the Kings, and St. Louis has been great lately. They got nabbed at the buzzer by the Sharks in their last game. The Ducks over San Jose. That one's basically a pick 'em. St. Louis over the Kings, and we will take the Avalanche puck line.
Aha! Yes.
Now the puck line was like 2.5. I think we'll just put it at 1.5 for the purposes of this. But the
Blues are much like the Jets in their past 10. Well, 6-2-2, right on in terms of teams. Now they're a little more farther out of it, but yes, they have been playing some decent hockey.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that whole the standings right now, I think between Nashville, who has the final spot, 77 points. I mean, they're only 3 games above 500. It's just nuts. There's no one that's done anything.
They're 4 points up on the Blues, and St. Louis holds the game in hand.
Oh, exactly. That's the thing. A win tonight for St. Louis, and it puts them, if they win tonight, actually, you will have 6 teams separated by 2 points.
Yep.
So it's pretty wild, but that's what I'm riding tonight. If anyone wants to jump on it, Blues money line, Ducks money line, Avs minus 1.5. We'll put that up. We did hit our baseball parlay yesterday. It wasn't just the big win on Bosnia-Herzegovina that was cashing checks, dude. After the weird Monday where the Jays lost for the first time, the Yankees lost for the first time, and the Dodgers lost for the first time, we locked in Jays run line minus 1.5, Yankees and Dodgers both to win, and that one came in at just under 4-1 yesterday. So
no score right now. Rockies, Jays, bottom of the third as well.
Yeah, getaway day. I didn't realize that this game was starting early, so
rubber match. Yeah.
That. Who's pitching today for Toronto? Is it
Gosman back on the mound.
Gauze. So that means tomorrow.
Well, they play. They will play Friday afternoon. It's a 3-game set in Chicago with the White Sox. Friday afternoon, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday afternoon.
Really, all afternoon games?
Yeah, all 12-10 pitches. Yeah, first pitch, Mountain Time.
Huh. All right, well.
And then it's that big series with the Dodgers back in Toronto after that.
Yeah, no doubt. That would be. It's kind of funny. They started off against the Athletics, the Rockies, the White Sox.
Yeah.
And then you go from one end of the pecking order all the way to the top. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to have a tough time watching those games next week.
Oh, yeah.
Just with the PTSD from...
Well, it was good that you had that Athletics series to kind of cleanse some of that, to wash it off. I mean, the pitching was great. The strike, everything like that. Like it was a good kind of time to reset and say, okay, we got ball back. But yeah, I don't know if you'd prefer this series happening so soon or maybe a little later, but it'll be interesting, as you mentioned, Athletics, Rockies, White Sox, and then it's the Dodgers rolling into town. So that should be interesting. It was a loss to the Rockies too, but it was a bullpen. I think Keegan Matheson said it best on Twitter. The arse came out, or the bottom fell out of it. I mean, that was a strange game, and Ponce now too with that injury, that ACL. I mean, that's a trouble spot.
Well, and they said, oh, he's just sprained his MCL, and then, oh, he might be out for the year. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm sure they're doing their due diligence. Tough to pull off it shouldn't be too hard, actually, to pull off a ticket tonight. There's still some games for later on. I was not aware just how many teams were playing in the afternoon today. Holy smokes. Like, we've already got 7 or 8 games that are underway. Although the Mets and Cards are in a rain delay right now. J00, they do have 3 hits so far. And Gosman looking real good. Real good so far. Tonight we got Red Sox, Astros, Angels, Cubs, Tigers, Diamondbacks, Scooble on the hill.
Yankees, and the Yankees Mariners in Seattle, again. Yeah.
They've split 1-1 so far in that series. Twins, Royals at the K. And then, Yamamoto is on the hill for the Dodgers going up against Cleveland. Man, he's good. Another guy that just makes me shiver thinking about what he did in the thing. You got anything you like here in these late games, Eric?
Well, Seattle and the Mariners and Yankees today, 2:10 as well, another kind of later afternoon. Mariners got past them in the opener 2-1. They got blanked yesterday 5-0. Like, you know me, I'm a Mariners casual supporter, and I think, if indeed, and they are playing the Yankees, there is kind of a bridge here to be built between my fandom and Canada's team, the Toronto Blue Jays fandom. What's the numbers on the Mariners? Like, again, it's tough, but
I think I may have to ride with the Yankees in this one today because of the pitching matchup. And listen, George Kirby's good.
Head over the heart.
Actually, the Mariners are a favorite. I'm seeing Yankees at even money and the Mariners at -122.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm looking at is a great number on the Yankees because Schlittler's dealing. And we all remember the season he had last year, and he came out of the gate against the Giants last week, gave up 1 hit, and struck out 8 in his first game. So he looked really, really good early on.
It's a great matchup on the mound both ways.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for sure. Kirby gave up 1 run over 6, I think, or something like that. He's got a 150 ERA. It's one of those ones where I won't be upset if we lose the bet because the Yankees lose. You know what I mean? It's kind of an emotional hedge on that one. The Twins are favored in KC against the Royals.
Scooble's on the bump for the Tigers against the Diamondbacks.
Auto bet. Tariq Scooble. So if we take those two, what's the pitching matchup in the Giants-Padres here?
Giants-Padres, Hauser and Pivetta.
Pavetta had a very rough first start. Hauser, I think this looks like it is his first start. Adrian Hauser. Coming over from Tampa last year. Only started 10 games. 4.79 ERA. Year before, though, with the White Sox, he was actually good. To be good of the White Sox is hard.
Yeah.
I kind of would like to do all 3 games in the afternoon here. Padres, Giants. Is there any other? And then these other ones are late tonight. Well, that being said, we could just take the Dodgers run line like we did last night.
Yeah, that's not bad either.
I'll throw it that. You can get it in around plus 490 if you want to take Tigers, Yankees, and Dodgers minus 1.5. I think that'll be the baseball play. Try and get the first 2 right, and then can see if the Yankees can take care of business yesterday. Or the Dodgers, I should say. They were able to do that and made it happen. And then it's back to some scoreboard watching, Eric. A lot of scoreboard watching. People feeling pretty good about the Oil. Goalies pitching shutouts, winning 4 in a row for the first time all season. Vibes must be good.
Seattle Kraken, I don't know what your thoughts are on them. I just don't, I know the Mammoth are where they are as well, and I think there's a little more, shall we say, sexiness with their offense. I just don't get what the Kraken really are. And I was saying that going into last night's game, and I was proven correct in the end. Now the Oilers, yes, they didn't try anything too of the spectacular. They didn't push anything. They got the lead, some depth scoring, locked it down when they needed to. Connor Ingram celebrating a birthday. I mean, a revelation in his own, both on and off the ice in terms of the storyline. Firmly now the number one. It is a good thing, and we've been teasing the line of no Draisaitl, no problem. Obviously, a better team when Leon Draisaitl is in the lineup for any team around the league. That he would be playing on. But it has forced their hand to kind of play a little more of a well-rounded game. It's gotten other players, I think, to step up subconsciously as well and pitch in with the effort. I do think, in a lot of texters, the Paul Coffey appointment was kind of met with some smirks from some people, and maybe even from him himself in Paul Coffey. But I think that too, that defensive roundedness, that message is finally coming through to the group. So all these things coming together right now, and I'm not going to say a Draisaitl injury is a good thing, but I do think happening and when it did at this stage of the season has kind of got them into, I think Craig Button said it on the show earlier, a pinch between the shoulder blades. It's forced their hand, coaches and players, to kind of pick up the slack and not be so reliant on things that we've seen in the past. So right now, I mean, first 4-game win streak of the season. They're looking and probably will make it 5 tomorrow against Chicago. No offense to the opposition. The Oilers need to show up and play the game. We're already looking ahead to Saturday when Tortorella rolls into town with the Golden Knights, 8 o'clock puck drop. That should be fascinating, but they do have to take care of business tomorrow. But I think the way this team is playing right now, they should. I don't think this is a team. The Oilers, yes, earlier on in the season, you'd see them, play down opposition or whatever, or nights like the Kraken. I mean, if this game last night's played back in November, you could maybe say it would be a pick'em because of the fact that, the Oilers were up and down and all this, but they're rounding into form. They're playing good hockey. I do wonder, what are your thoughts on the Tortorella bump? Will there be a bump? Is there a bump? Is there a larger than a bump to come?
Well, I think that they definitely are a better team than they were showing.
Yeah.
Historically, it's taken 20 games for Torts to really kind of have an effect. But to me, the Vegas is a very different team. It's almost, I think, a match made in heaven. I mean, a more veteran team that, has always played with a bit of an edge to get back to who they are with Torts there. I watched the game last night or 2 nights ago. I mean, I'm not taking too much out of a win over Vancouver right now. I mean, they're basically like an AHL team. So, we'll see what happens. But they don't really have the pressure for... I mean, I guess they still do need to clinch a playoff spot. I mean, if you go 1-6 in your next few games, all of a sudden teams like the Jets or whatever could be in the mix and catching you. But I think it makes them a more formidable team in the short term. And I think that Oilers Vegas series with Torts on the bench and in front of the microphone will be absolutely phenomenal. So Sign me up for that. But just as far as the Oil go, I thought that was impressive last night. And you know what? It's okay to not beat a team 7-5. Like,
no,
it's
absolutely
actually a good thing to shut her down and play good defensively and have kind of maybe a little bit more of a boring game.
Absolute.
Because you have to be able to defend if you want to win in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And I got to say, I think what's happening right now with the Oilers bodes very well for their chances.
No, well said. I mean, if it was a playoff game, you would be tucking that and being like, what a professional win. It was a regular season game against Seattle, which whatever, but you're spot on. This team has been exciting, both in the win column and the loss column at times, but getting that type of performance and not just last night, but from what we've seen over the past, I mean, they had, since those losses to the Lightning and Panthers, I mean, they've gone out and they've beaten teams that have been around them, teams that are, stoutly in the mix and fighting for their lives as well. So, not just wins, but good wins, and not sexy, but professional jobs. So, yeah, I think it's got everybody. It's not a celebratory perk up, but it's a confidence boost for sure.
Well, we'll look forward to their next game is tomorrow night.
Tomorrow against the Blackhawks, and then Saturday with the Golden Knights rolling into town. Should be fascinating. 8 o'clock.
Okay. Be interesting to see if there's some tone setting on Saturday between two teams that will likely see each other coming up. Good times, E, as always.
Yeah, man. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for getting me through this. Andrew Hustler Patterson, Winnipeg Sports Talk. We appreciate his time as always. Star of the show. As another star of the show walks into the room, YouTube Trev. He's here to shut it down. What do you do in these final minutes? You usually come on with Matty and talk?
No. You just wrap up. Yeah, set up the oil stream. You can finish whenever you want there, Lieutenant Eric.
Well, the oil stream is coming up next. You'll be on with Tom Gazzola, taking us through, recapping the game against the Kraken, maybe setting up some things with the Blackhawks. Do want to say we were talking Blue Jays baseball. Want to get this out there again. The best trip of YouTube Trev's life. He's off to the Jays. They'll be watching the Jays take on the White Sox July 17 to 19. We've sold out of the packages, but there still is an opportunity. Chelsea at Expedia Cruises has locked down a few extra hotel rooms, and who's to say she can't lock down a few more? So if you still want to get in on this trip, text or call her 780-970-4834 to try to weasel your way in the back door here on this trip. Should be a good one, July 17 to 19, Jays and White Sox. Pair of games, stadium tour, on-field photo op, and all that good stuff. So once again, that number 780-970-4834. Is it a hard out at noon? Do we want to? We can now. Okay, we'll wrap things up. For Dustin Nielsen and Matthew Iwanek, I'm Lieutenant Eric. Special thanks to producer YouTube Trev. This has been another edition of the Lock Shop presented by Play Alberta. Oil Stream coming up next. Tom Gazzola and YouTube Trev. I'll be back with you tomorrow morning. Final show of the week. No programming on Friday, so we're going to have a wild one. Myself, Dave Jameson in for Dustin Nielsen, and Trev as well. We got beer of the week, all those things. It'll be a Friday show smashed into a Thursday show, getting you set for Oilers and Blackhawks. Have a great afternoon. Oil Stream coming up next.